Hello, I did subscribe. I paid $20 to Curiosity Stream so I could watch this video of the genomes. And they inside this they had two shows. So one is Hidden Treasures in Our DNA. That's the one where they take your DNA, they can recreate you from your cadaver and all that kind of stuff. And I said that's leads to zombie, because modern day I think they're making zombies out of that technology. Okay. And then the other one is called what? The DNA switch. There's a switch now in the DNA. There's 100% of a DNA, and they take 2%, which is the one that makes us who we are. Then the other 98 is where we could take a switch and make us different. That's what it's about. So they go and hunt for people to find variants in your DNA that could survive different stuff like the flu and colds and stuff like that. So my opinion of what's going on right now is we're a bunch of guinea pigs. Yeah. We're a bunch of guinea pigs. All of us who are being gang stalked from those people, these organizations. What do I mean? I mean, like, back in the days, they used to have volunteers and also volunteers and people they're forced into volunteering, and people they're just forced and duped, like us. We're being duped. We don't even know what's happening to us. This isn't history. People don't believe in history, but it happened, okay? They do it all the time. So I went to this site here, bestpsychologydegree.com 360. 30 most disturbing human experiments. That's what it's called. You know, just saying 30 most disturbing. Let's try to hold my camera correctly. 30 most disturbing human experiments in history. Okay, so you see this person. Look, they have this person like that. They did it back like that. We don't look like that, but we are like this. We're having our bodies all like this, without wires. We're getting the same treatment as this man without wires, wireless, satellites. We're getting the same treatment. This was back in the days, right? But we're getting the same stuff as this person. And we're getting it against our will. None of us signed up for this stuff, right? Okay, so my theory is, this is my second theory. I did the other one in the other video. The, what do you call it? The drug companies, you know, they have an opioid crisis, right? Opioid was invented by drug companies to make money, and they don't even care that they killed out the population. A lot of people are overdosing and dying from it. Okay, now back to us. We are being bombarded with all this electronic technology against our bodies. So every one of us is going to react differently to what's going on. And then they who are watching and monitoring us, our gang stalker peoples, will report how we react to when they do certain stuff. If they zap us here, or if they put something in our water and all this other stuff. They're doing all these different variants to every one of us differently to see what we do. Some of us are going to die. Some might commit suicide, or some will become sick. But then there's also the other ones who will thrive and resist. Okay? So the ones who are thriving and resist and are doing, good, those ones, they'll make medical research and secretly go in their DNA and take out the cells of that person who did well in this program that we're in, and make medicine, pills and all that, some kind of, invent some kind of excuse and say blah, 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 blah. This is what's going on. It's all about, as far as I'm concerned, after zombies and all that, money. They need to make money. So, they went against people's wills back in the days, and they're still doing it today, but this time wirelessly, not with wires like in this picture, going in your houses and annoying all of us. So they're just trying to get those, I don't want to name them companies, but German companies, those Germans started back in doing all this a lot, back in the 40s. I'm going to say one name, Bayer, I don't care, because they was really into this stuff. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, and that's one of them names who I remember when I was reading about what the companies that did the experiments to people back in the 40s and Hitler's time. And okay, so all the ones who did well they will get their DNA taken out of them and used in prescription drugs and and then you'll get money. Not you won't get money, but the companies will make money. And let me say, the man who his name is Alfonso, the perp, he told me that I'm doing well, right? He said, you're not getting sick and all this stuff. You know what? I'm going to take eventually I'm going to take some of your DNA and use it on me. And I said, what are you talking about? At that time, I thought he was nuts. But look, what's going on around me, it's like he's not really nuts, So he said, he threatened me. He said he's going to take my DNA and stick it in him. So when he said that, my epiphany, went off back then, but now for real, because that's what they're doing now. They're going around looking for people. So in that video with the Curiosity Stream, that's what they're doing. They're doing it on the up and up, those doctors, okay? But these ones that we have are doing it behind closed doors in secret. So, and I think all them rich people who have a lot of money and they want to stay healthy, they took a wrong turn. They might have did drugs or whatever their problem was. Some of them are sick, so they want to use people like me and you, Yeah, it's a big business. So I went to the site, and I'm just going to show you that it's been done throughout history. I'm trying to move my hand and the phone. Yeah. So this lady, I have to mention her. Her name is the Henrietta Lacks. She was in the 50s. Yeah, they have a movie with her. She had some cancer, blah, blah, blah. And they took it against her body. I could just read it. I just want to read it. It says, in 1955, Henrietta Lacks, a poor, uneducated African-American woman from Baltimore, was the unwitting source of cells, which were then cultured for the purpose of medical research. Though researchers had tried to grow cells before, Henrietta's were the first successfully kept alive and cloned. Henrietta's cells, known as HeLa cells, have been instrumental in the development of the polio vaccine, cancer research, AIDS research, gene mapping, and countless other scientific endeavors. Henrietta died penniless and was buried without a tombstone in a family cemetery. For decades, her husband and 5 children were left in the dark about their wife and mother's amazing contribution to modern science. So this is what I'm trying to say. This is what's going on to us. She was the first that they saw it could be done. As far as I'm concerned, she was the first, taking people unbeknownst to them, their cells and doing stuff and making science and medicine and all that. She was the first, right? She didn't get nothing for it, as far as I know as of now. And now they're so greedy, they decided to go on the whole population. And they're purposely instilling stuff in us so we could get sick, so they could go and claim that they made, this is what to me what's going on. So that's my opinion. Yeah, and there's some other ones. There's one in Guatemala, not only in the United States. Yeah, you go and read all these things. This is what I'm trying to go down to one in Guatemala. I'll read that one. Sorry, it's taking me away there. Guatemala. Monster study. Oh, here. This is us. Project MK Ultra. So they even have it listed. This is the mind control stuff. MK meaning mind control ultra files. So this is real, what we're going through. And we're still going through it. I'll read about this. Project MK Ultra is the code name of a CIA-sponsored research operation that experimented in human behavioral engineering. From 1953 to 1973, the program employed various methodologies to manipulate the mental states of American and Canadian citizens. These unwitting human test subjects were plied with LSD and other mind-altering drugs, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, and various forms of torture. Research occurred at universities, hospitals, prisons, and pharmaceutical companies. Though the project sought to develop chemical materials capable of employment in clandestine operations, Project MK Ultra was ended by a congressional commissioned investigation into CIA activities within the U.S. So this is what we are still under, including the other, the other pharmaceuticals companies. They're all coming together. The CIA, the big pharma, everyone, they're all using us. It's like ridiculous. I'm serious. This is a money game. We're being used. So all who are doing well, the thrivers, they're going to take your DNA and start selling your cells to those drug companies and making money. That's my opinion. They had a lot of it. They did it to a lot of people who were disabled, prisoners. I'm just trying to find the one with the Guatemala. I saw it. Wait. Oh, this one. I want to read about this one. The syphilis. Yeah, syphilis experiments in Guatemala. Let me read this one. Sorry it's taking me so long. You could close off the video if you don't want to listen to me. From 1946 to 1948, the United States government, Guatemalan President Juan Jose Arevalo, and some Guatemalan health ministers cooperated in a disturbing human experiment on unwitting Guatemalan citizens. Doctors deliberately infected soldiers, prostitutes, prisoners, and mental patients with syphilis and other sexually transmitted diseases in an attempt to track their untreated natural progression. Treated only with antibiotics, the experiment resulted in at least 30 documented deaths. In 2010, the United States made a formal apology to Guatemala for their involvement in these experiments. So see, 1945 to 48. 1946 to 48. That was 2 years. That's a while ago, but that was then, but this is what we're doing wirelessly now. So it's all the same game that's going on. So, and this one is another famous one, Tuskegee syphilis study. This occurred in the United States. I'll read this one and I'll close off. In 1932, the U.S. Public Health Service began working with the Tuskegee Institute to track the natural progression of untreated syphilis. 600 poor, illiterate male sharecroppers were found and hired in Macon County, Alabama. Of the 600, only 399 were previously contracted syphilis, and none were told they had a life-threatening disease. Instead, they were told they were receiving free health care, meals, and burial insurance in exchange for participating. Even after penicillin was proven an effective cure for syphilis in 1947, the study continued until 1972. In addition to the original subjects, victims of the study included wives who contracted the disease and children born with congenital syphilis. In 1997, President Bill Clinton formally apologized to those affected by what is often called the most infamous homicidal experiment in U.S. history. Okay? I don't know if you know about this, but I know about this already. The Tuskegee. And they're still doing it today. This is back, everybody had their generation had their, but this is our generation, and these people are still alive. So it's their generation. We're all being, with this satellite and stuff. So I'm just saying, this is my epiphany of why these things are happening. They're doing us as guinea pigs, and we're all being who are getting this problem, are being victimized again. Okay, yeah. So just wake up and fight back somehow. We gotta start protesting and demonstrating and all this. Then they even use infected mosquitoes. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Soviet Union, everyone's doing this. It's worldwide. It's gone worldwide. Okay, it might start in the United States and Germany and all that. Now it's worldwide. All the people in power are doing this to the people, human, Nazi, everybody. All this. So you go read this site. So that's why you want, they've been doing this for centuries, decades. Ridiculous. This is the modern day that we live in. But it's going to end. So I would suggest people to go and get the Curiosity Stream thing. It's only $20. And you get some commercials, limited commercials a year. And you know why I'm telling people to go try Curiosity Stream? Because they have all these science things, and it seems like far out there, but this is what's helping me realize what's going on here. I putting two and two together. You know what I mean? So you go educate, read, watch these videos, and when you watch these videos on the Curiosity Stream or any other website that you choose, the free ones, they have free ones, but they sent me an email, and then my epiphany moment went up in my head. And then you get your own epiphany moment, and we all come together and realize what's going on. Everyone watches one of these kind of videos and puts their minds together, and then when you get your epiphany, you post the video, and then we say, oh, then we realize what's going on, and that's how we can get rid of these people. But if everyone stays quiet and don't do nothing, we ain't gonna be we will be defeated. But I do not want us to be defeated. I want us to rise and overcome what's going on. So please, people, start going and watching these science videos, and then get something, and then maybe you could remember because when you sleep, they be messing with your brains. You know what I'm saying? When you sleep, and they be in your brain. So if you watch one of these videos, next thing you know, you get a epiphany moment, and it comes out because you could remember. Because they be hypnotizing us when we sleep, and they be messing with us. So something triggers on us when we wake up. So if you watch one of these videos, these science videos about what's going on, then we could, you might get an epiphany moment, and you post the video on one of these sites, and then we find out, what's going on, and then we could defeat these gang stalking people. Okay, don't get depressed about it. We're gonna defeat them. All the other people defeated them back in the days. These ones will be gone as well. All right, people. Peace out. Have a nice day.